What's up, everyone? I'm Ashley Smashley, and in this video we're going to talk about fear. If you are new here, please smash that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. On this channel we talk all things spiritual awakening, the light and the dark, so we can become aware and integrate, because that's necessary to become the version of you that can live out your infinite potential. And last night I made a short explaining how it says in the Bible 365 times to not be afraid and that you are divinely protected. But I felt like this topic deserves its own long form video, and whether or not it says be not afraid in the Bible 365 times, I have not gone through and counted. I did find a website that lists out all the scriptures, so I'll link that in the description, but other sources say that that's not accurate, so I don't know. Okay, go count the scriptures in the Bible and you can come back and let me know. I'm not doing that. Let's talk about fear along your divine path to unlock your infinite potential. Okay, fear is like any other emotion, right? If we have repressed fear, it's going to come up and it's going to need to be seen and processed from a higher state of consciousness. Like last night, my character was feeling fear, right? And I was like, you have nothing to be afraid of, right? Because anything that comes up against you is going to be used to your benefit. And whether or not you can see that in the moment, even if the bad thing does happen, whatever you're fearing, you will benefit from it in some way. It serves a purpose in your journey. We don't have to fear and live in this state of fear of being afraid of what might happen. And I get this a lot, especially along my journey. People are always projecting fear into my experience. And they're like, what about this? And what about that? And if I'm going to move, and what about this? And what about that? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I don't fear making these intuitive, crazy decisions, because I know that I will be provided for. Whether or not it makes sense, you have to follow your intuition on your divine path and move without fear, in the knowing that whatever experience arises is necessary for your journey, okay? And you will be provided for. So, for example, driving across the country in a beater, which I've done countless times, right? So people are always so afraid of what if something goes wrong with my car, right? And so one time when I was driving from California to Michigan, a hose came loose and all my training fluid leaked out, or coolant. I can't remember. I think it was coolant, actually. Either way, literally within minutes of that happening, some guy swooped up. He drove. I was in the middle of nowhere, so who knows how far he drove to go get the fluid for me. He reattached the hose and filled my fluid. Then he told me to follow him to the car wash where he sprayed off my engine so that it wouldn't start a fire or anything. And guess what? We're literally in the middle of nowhere. And the sign across the street from the car wash said Road Angel. So I could live in fear of like, oh, well, I can't drive across the country in a beater because something might happen to my car. And then you don't act on your intuition. But the thing happened anyway, and I was provided for. God sent me an angel along my journey to take care of the issue. So that's how we must walk, in faith, not fearing what might happen. But if fear arises, we process that emotion just like any other emotion, right? The character can feel fear, and you can sit and observe your character feeling fear and allow that energy to flow out of you. Like a couple years ago, I had a place. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It was off the street, and the whole yard was pitch black, right? So I don't know what was going on, but all this fear was arising. I couldn't sleep at night because I was so afraid that I was being followed, and that I was going to come home from work late one night and there was going to be someone waiting in my yard. And it was just like an irrational fear, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so in that moment, I just laid there and I was like, okay, my character is feeling fear. And I processed the energy of fear. All right, but we can't let fear dictate our lives and make our decisions out of fear, because your intuition's telling you to do something. You need to do it. when you are on your divine path to unlock your infinite potential, that is the only way to unlock your infinite potential, is to follow your intuition. So if you're too afraid to take action on your intuition because you're feeling fear and you're letting fear run your life, that you have to know. You have to know that everything's going to be okay. Even if the bad things happen, you'll be provided for and everything will work out. Like, you have to go through that experience. You wanted that experience for some reason. So you can't just run around trying to protect yourself from bad things and whatever you're afraid of. Now, fear can be a good thing too. If you're in a situation and you start to feel fear for your safety and your intuition's telling you, hey, you need to get out of here or you need to go do whatever, then that's when you act on that fear, when you're unsafe. But in your everyday life, when fear arises, it's just an energy that needs to get processed, and we cannot let it prevent us from taking action on our intuition. All right, so we have to understand how to work with fear. Fear can be beneficial at times to protect you, but you can't run your life off of fear, right? And that's one of the lowest frequencies on the scale. Fear is way down there. And that's why they're constantly trying to keep us in a state of fear, to keep the vibration of the planet and the people low. All right, and that's what all the fear in the media is. Just know, if you are taking action on your intuition, you have nothing to fear. All right? You will be protected. You will be provided for, okay? You have an entire team, spirit team, angels, ancestors, entities in the dark watching over you. Okay? Anyone that tries to harm you is going to get their karma. Okay? These entities, angels, everyone's looking out for you. Once you make the choice to get on your divine path to unlock your infinite potential, you stop acting out of your ego and you follow your intuition one divine step at a time, you don't have to fear whatever arises. Okay? Bad things will happen. All right, so when I was in Las Vegas, I got drugged. And it was a lesson that I had to learn because I was not using my discernment and I trusted somebody that I shouldn't. Okay, I was lonely and I let somebody into my life who turned out to drug me, right? But it was a necessary experience for me to learn discernment, okay? It was like David and Goliath moment. I stood there in the middle of the hood with this 6'4" black man yelling at him. And I swear, it was just like David and Goliath, slaying the giant. All right, my little 5-foot butt, okay? So understand, you are always protected, all right? And that would be like, oh my God, I would never want to experience that. Oh, I'm so afraid of something bad happening. Oh my God, I shouldn't do that. No, it's okay. If bad things happen, it will serve a purpose. Even if you can't see it in the moment, you will understand looking back why you had to go through that, why it was part of the journey, okay? So don't be afraid. When you are acting out of your intuition, you are protected and you will be provided for. There are countless times along this journey I made some crazy intuitive decision that I had no idea how it would work out, how I would find the money, it just didn't make any sense to anybody else. And as soon as I stepped on the other side of that decision, I was provided for. Countless times. I could give you a million stories of how this has worked out for me in my life. You have to trust your intuition. All right, if fear is arising out of protection for your safety, that's when you act out of fear and you get yourself safe. When fear arises in your life and it's an energy that needs to be processed out, that's when you sit with it. You allow your character to feel the fear from a higher state of consciousness and process the energy out of your field and become fearless, okay? The new earth leaders cannot be afraid, okay? Do you understand what we're coming up against here? The darkness that has ruled the earth the entire existence of Earth? What are you going to run? You're going to be afraid? No. We have to learn how to work with fear, okay? We have to learn how to process the energy of fear out of our field. We have to learn how to take intuitive action and not be afraid of what might happen or that you don't have enough. That lack is fear. If your intuition is telling you to take action, you cannot be afraid. I promise you, everything is going to work out for your benefit in the end. All right, you will be protected and you will be provided for. So learn how to work with the energy of fear. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.